Welcome back to Snetterton as we get ourselves ready for the second race of the weekend for the Fiesta Junior Championship. James Waite and Ollie Turner on the front row from Nathaniel Hodgkiss and Todd Garner. Abby Locke alongside Josh Steed, with Magnus Cricklewey and Isaac Smith completing the grid. No Alfie Glennie for this second race. Mechanical problems keeping him from the start. The green flag flies at the back of the grid. Will we get Cricklewey and Isaac Smith charging their way through the field? Can Ollie Turner get his first win? Let's find out. It's a good start from the back of the grid. We're on board with Isaac Smith. He's already alongside Steed and going to try and come alongside Todd Garner. What a cracking getaway from Isaac Smith, already up into fourth position. But off the back of their best ever results in the championship, Ollie Turner and Nathaniel Hodgkiss remain in second and third. They want to do it for the second time of asking. James Waite has come through. Whoops, a little bit on the grass there for Josh Steed, and I'm guessing that is Todd Garner in there as well, as Isaac Smith goes straight on the attack, up the inside of Nathaniel Hodgkiss and into third position. So it is a Jam Sport 1, 2, 3 this time. On board with Josh Steed. That is Magnus Cricklewey in front of us as we're trying to make up progress through the field. We are in sixth position. Magnus Cricklewey ahead of us in fifth place as he now takes on his teammate Nathaniel Hodgkiss. But after Hodgkiss bagged his first ever podium in the championship in race one, and very good of him too to do so, it's his teammate who's now going to try and make his own impression on this one. So let's see if Hodgkiss can shake off Magnus Cricklewey and hang on for an opportunity for the podium. Isaac Smith, meanwhile, is having a look at his teammate Ollie Turner. James Waite is already starting to drop the hammer and get away. But Isaac Smith is looking for his first victory in the championship as well. Only two drivers thus far in the 2018 campaign have won races in Fiesta Juniors. It's either been Magnus Cricklewey or it has been... sorry, my apologies. Yes, I was just going to say, it's either been Magnus Cricklewey or James Waite, and I was trying to remember if Isaac Smith had got one, and he hasn't yet. But he has led the championship due to his very solid consistency in the early stages. But a non-finish in race one at Rockingham and here at Snetterton before the race even got underway due to mechanical problems on the grid has definitely hampered his chances. Isaac Smith throws it up the inside of Ollie Turner. No chance. Ollie Turner did say to Scott Woodwiss post race one, I am going to get my elbows out, don't worry, and he's obviously got straight on with it. This is the battle for second place. Turner, Smith, Hodgkiss, and then Magnus Cricklewey, with Josh Steed just keeping a watching brief there in sixth position as well as they go through. Then it is Todd Garner and Abby Locke, still getting up to speed, those two. Can Ollie Turner hang on here in front of Isaac Smith? The problem is they're letting James Waite get away as a result of it. And Hodgkiss goes right round the outside and clatters into Ollie Turner. They've both gone off of the final turn. Turner keeps his foot in. Oh my word, he keeps his foot absolutely nailed to the throttle, and Cricklewey gets by. Turner barely lost any speed at all. Fantastic. Josh Steed's now going to get past him on the left side. Well, that's Ollie Turner utilising his skills from his short oval racing days there. Just kept his foot flat on the power and said, no, I'm not going to lose my ground. Thank you very much. I'll lose a couple of positions if I have to. Oh, and that is Nathaniel Hodgkiss. So clearly, unfortunately, that was a little bit too heavy an incident for him. And the damage is done, unfortunately. That's a real shame. It just looked as though he had an absolutely corking good move around the outside there to move up a position. Oh, and now Isaac Smith has lost the ground to Magnus Cricklewey. So Magnus Cricklewey went round the outside and took the place. Now Josh Steed is trying to get into third position. Ollie Turner is right behind us, don't forget. So he's trying to move up as well. But Isaac Smith provisionally in second place. Now it is Magnus Cricklewey back into second place, which will do in terms of his championship aspirations. But he's got a lot of ground to make up on James Waite. But if anyone's going to get there, it's Magnus Cricklewey. So Waite leads the way from Cricklewey. Isaac Smith in third, fourth is Steed, fifth is Turner, sixth is Todd Garner, and seventh is Abby Locke at the moment. So it's looking like it's going to be a very interesting race at the front here for the guys settling into a nice rhythm. James Waite looking to extend his championship lead with a double victory as he did at Brands Hatch at the start of the year. But there is Josh Steed trying to gain ground on Isaac Smith, who's already had a disappointing start to the weekend, having not even got out of the blocks in the first race. Steed is wanting to grab another podium. He's already had a couple this year. So who's going to get there? Who's going to get that third position between Smith and Steed? I have a feeling this could go on for a long time in this race, as Steed has his first initial gambit on the inside of Brundle. They come off of Nelson. Now, Josh Steed has got to exert patience on this. They all know that with the hot temperatures here this weekend around the Snetterton circuit, that again, it's going to be more towards the first part of the race when the circuit will be at its fastest. because obviously the tyres do tend to go off, although the slightly different conditions here are a little bit different, a little bit more interesting to cope with, as Isaac Smith again puts one wheel off the deck. Dry conditions and the weather is bright, but there is a little bit of mugginess around the circuit, and that could actually give the tyres a little bit of a chance to come back into play, as Ollie Turner, struggling, having gone off the grass in that little incident with Hodgkiss, who is now out of the race. A little bit of an interesting battle for those two, but Turner is trying to close up on Josh Steed. Oh, a little flick of the dirt there from Isaac Smith as he went through Riches, potentially, as they go down to Wilson Hairpin. Originally named Montreal, of course, but renamed after the late, great Justin Wilson, who sadly passed away a few years ago in IndyCar racing. Used to love competing at this circuit in his junior days, and a good friend of Jolyon Palmer, who, of course, is the son of the man who owns this circuit. And, of course, this particular corner, Palmer, is, of course, named after the particular family. Up towards Agostini, named after one of the greatest motorcycle riders in history, Giacomo Agostini, of course. Into the left-hander, up on the curbs. Good bit of running this from Josh Steed as he gets himself closer to the tail of Isaac Smith. Little bit of break, a dab, a break, and then turn in. Oh, a big wobble from Isaac Smith through Hamilton. He runs a little bit deep there, but well held by Isaac Smith. That was always going to be a tough one to keep a hold of. And to be fair to him, he made that one look fairly straightforward, considering he was very loose as they come out of Oggies and into Williams. A big slide there, and then they come back onto the Bentley straight, back onto the old circuit at Snetterton, as it were. And then on that run down to Brundle. So a very exciting battle for the drivers then here at Snetterton as they continue to run on. James Waite leading, Magnus Cricklewy definitely trying to keep as close to him as possible. The gap is steady at about 4 seconds or so. And I can tell you that that opening couple of fast laps from James Waite, he did a 2:20.1 on the second lap. But I don't think Magnus Cricklewy is going to settle for that. He wants to get a little bit more time out of him, and he is doing his very best to commit to moving forward. Still got a very long way to go in this race, as there is Isaac Smith in the 23, chasing after. Oh, I love the way they break into Murray's, and three wheels are on the deck, and the left rear is always above the ground. You can see so much adhesion in these cars as they get right on the limit of what the brakes can do. They chuck the centrifugal force of the car in, and here's your race leader, James Waite. And again there, look, 3 on the deck and 1 in the air as he pushes through. That is quite an incredible sight, isn't it, watching the drivers do this in absolutely incredible intensity. And again there, look, 3 on the deck and 1 in the air. You know it's a Fiesta Junior race, don't you? So out in front, James Waite controlling the pace at the moment, just as he did in race 1. The only difference is his championship rival is now the man trying to gain the ground. And he is chipping away at it. He's taking a couple of tenths here, a couple of tenths there. So the difficulty basically being that James Waite was given a clear bit of track to run away and get a bit of a gap. He's already managed to build one. But Magnus Cricklewy, the Dane, who's already had a couple of victories over the course of the season, is not prepared to take defeat lying down. This is the 8th race of the season. 2 of the race wins have gone to Magnus Cricklewy. This is, the 8th race of the season. 3 of the race wins have gone to Magnus Cricklewy, and 4 of them have gone to James Waite, and it's looking likely that James is going to get the big high five this time. They come into Williams once again and onto the Bentley straight. This is an important race weekend for James Waite. If he can win both races, he definitely asserts himself at the top of the drivers' table. So I would suspect that obviously the main focus now has got to be on where you position the car, how you look after the tyres. See, that's the most crucial thing of all in this particular category, because these tyres are still very much a buzzword in this paddock. The drivers are trying to get used to them, and even in this 4th weekend of the championship, there is still an awful lot to learn, as there is the man in 2nd place, Magnus Cricklewy, through the bomb hole. You can see how hard he is pushing. He's really starting to get the grips with the car again now, as they come through Coram once again. He's just keeping him nailed as much as he can. He's hoping that James Waite succumbs under the pressure out in front. But this is going to be a very difficult one to cope with. So we're at that stage of the championship now where we're trying to look at the difference between accrued points and the adjusted total, because obviously the drivers dropped scores. So they basically dropped the 2 lowest scores from their championship season. So James Waite, if it stays as it is now, he will have an adjusted total of 304, and Magnus Krickleby would have 290. So the gap in the championship would be 14 points if things were to stay as they are now. Despite his troubles, Isaac Smith would still be third in the Drivers' Championship as we ride on board with Ollie Turner, trying to close up on Josh Steed. Now, speaking of Ollie Turner, he would be fourth in the Drivers' Championship if it stays like this, only 2 points ahead of Josh Steed and only 8 points behind Isaac Smith. So the third place in the championship fight is definitely going to be between these three, and it just keeps on getting spicy. Smith, Steed and Turner, but Turner in this race, it seems very, very difficult for him to stay with these two up front. Todd Garner, meanwhile, would be sixth in the standings if things remain as they are, from Nathaniel Hodgkiss, who, let's be fair, has lost an awful lot of points now in the 2018 championship. He had an opportunity at Rockingham to make up some big ground and would have finished on the podium there had it not been for his 2 mechanical problems in both races. And then, of course, retiring from this one after trying to get up the inside of Ollie Turner. And I wonder if that's the reason, why Ollie Turner can't keep up with these two as we ride on board with Josh Steed out of Oggies, chasing after Isaac Smith. I wonder if there's damage to Ollie Turner's car as a result of that earlier accident. As Isaac Smith, look, the back end sliding. Josh Steed definitely in a position to put him under some pressure now. They get back on the power, down the back straight. Can Josh Steed reel in Isaac Smith? They are running short on time as they get to the half-distance point. So Josh Steed is obviously wanting to get as far into the battle for third position as he possibly can. He has a look on the inside. That's not a serious overtaking move. That's an attempt to see if he can outfox Isaac Smith and put pressure on him to make a mistake. But Smith is perfect. And now that he's got closer to him, Smith is actually moving across enough to defend to Josh Steed through the bomb hole. Up towards Coram they will go. How is this going to work out? Josh Steed right on the tail of Isaac Smith. Not a lot between them at the moment. But if Josh Steed could get past Isaac Smith, he'd have a better chance of moving into fourth place in the Drivers' Championship ahead of his good mate and rival Ollie Turner behind him. So he's doing everything he can to get the gap down because he is in front of Ollie Turner and tucked in behind the man who should leave here in third position in the championship if things remain as they are. That's Isaac Smith in front of us. We're on board with Josh Steed. That sun is trying to break through that cloud cover once again. So I don't think we're going to get rain after all. There was a little question mark over it as to whether we'd see some for the Fiesta Juniors. I don't think we're going to now. Steed is going to make the move on the inside. What great defensive move from Isaac Smith, but Josh Steed had to nudge him there to get back on the brakes. So Isaac Smith absolutely responding to that move. Now, you've got to take into account that these are tin tops. A little bit of rubbing is okay, but Isaac Smith only moved across once. The difficulty being that was in the braking zone. So Josh Steed could probably argue, well, okay, look, I'd moved across and I was making the move on you in the braking zone, but Smith is saying, well, I'm allowed to protect the inside line. So Smith versus Steed continues, but Isaac Smith trying every trick in the book to hang on to third position, and for the moment, not doing a bad job of it. Steed in fourth. Ollie Turner is watching this with a little bit of a grin on his face, going, come on, boys, keep on battling. I'm going to find a way through to third position if you trip up. So things going very well at the moment, as these two drivers, Isaac Smith and Josh Steed, continue to battle for that third and final step of the podium. Neither driver has got to the podium yet this weekend, and the man who did last time, Nathaniel Hodgkiss, is not going to as he's out of the race. Ollie Turner was on the podium last time as well in the first race, of course. He's now in fifth position, courtesy of that manoeuvre from Hodgkiss. For the man in second position, Magnus Krickleby, has yet to take a podium finish this weekend as he battles for the championship lead with the race leader, James Waite. Look in the background, that's Todd Garner trying to move up as Josh Steed tags onto the back again of Isaac Smith in the hope that he can get through. So Todd Garner is doing a fair job at the moment as he continues in formation, trying to keep up with these guys. And still only two drivers remain in the race because Alfie Glennie couldn't start the second race due to mechanical problems. So Todd Garner is there in sixth position and Abby Locke is there in seventh with Nathaniel Hodgkiss out of the race. Isaac Smith leaving the turn in quite late and looking distinctly Colin McRae-esque as he came through there. Josh Steed is again putting him under some pressure as they come down the centre straight. Hanging tight to the wall as you cross the line, then spit out to the left side of the circuit, ready for the right-hander. You hang in tight to the wall there because that's the best way to go through the air, as you're basically up against the wall, letting the airflow do some very good stuff on that inside line. Ollie Turner just watching these two in case they trip over each other. Stranger things have happened as Josh Steed follows in behind Isaac Smith, and Ollie Turner is hoping to pick up the pieces in the 22. But at the moment, these two guys up ahead, Isaac Smith and Josh Steed, look fairly comfortable. They're not going to be pushed into anything silly if they can avoid it. There's your second place man, Magnus Cricklewy. You just saw the leader there at the bottom of the screen as well, actually, James Waite. So Cricklewy is getting on with this and is starting to close down the gap, to be fair. And I don't want to jinx it for anybody, but there's definitely some speed to come from these guys over the last section of the race, if these lap times are anything to go by, because there are a couple of drivers who are actually making some gains now in this particular phase of the race. James Waite is your leader. Magnus Cricklewy starting to chip away at his advantage now. He's got the gap down to just under 4 seconds, so there is still time to do this. But the question is, has he got the will and the determination to break James Waite's spirit and concentration? Isaac Smith in third, Steed in fourth. There's Ollie Turner still in fifth position as these guys battle over the final podium place. And behind them we've got Todd Garner in sixth and Abby Locke in seventh. Still learning by doing, those two. Down the Bentley straight. Underneath the bridge once again. See Isaac Smith just picking his moment into that first part of the chicane. There's Ollie Turner, just waiting for his opportune moment to pounce on one of these two. Josh Steed, still there right on the back of Isaac Smith. He just seems to be waiting for that final crucial mistake from Isaac Smith. But Isaac, although he's had a couple of moments where it was a bit too close to the whiskers, really, he has managed to get himself back into a good rhythm. Just watch him in this final turn as well. Look, he's got such a different style to the others. He just chucks the car in. And 9 times out of 10, he gets it absolutely spot on. Ollie Turner chasing after these two once more. Isaac Smith and Josh Steed in front of us. We're on board with the Oliver Turner car. The 22 comes through. Now, we are running short on laps here. But Magnus Cricklewy, I think, is now starting to look at the 2-minute 19s for a lap time. He's having an absolutely brilliant run. In fact, that last lap was a 2-minute 19.834. Now that is pretty incredible stuff. As the leader, James Waite, continues to run out in front of Magnus Cricklewy, who is catching him. There they are. But you can see visibly that the gap is smaller. Cricklewy is definitely making inroads. Look back. There's the battle for third position. Isaac Smith, Josh Steed and Ollie Turner at a stalemate at the moment. But Magnus Cricklewy, the Danish racer, is definitely starting to get closer to these guys. Into the braking zone. Through the sweeping left-hander. And still no headaches at the moment for these guys up front. Up to the sweeping left for Hamilton. This is all looking fine and tidy as they come through once again. Back into the braking zone for Oggies. Isaac Smith looking so much more composed than he did at the start of the race. The car was starting to get a little bit sideways here and there, but he seems to have actually found a little bit more speed and rhythm. His fastest lap of the race, by the way, is a 2 minutes 21.696 compared to the leaders, who are either in the 2:19s or the 2:20s, and they're low 2:20s. So you can tell that the gap between James Waite and Magnus Cricklewy in terms of lap time compared to everybody else is quite sizable. But Magnus Cricklewy has not given up on James Waite. I guess Magnus's only hope now is that he keeps pushing. James Waite ends up making a mistake and Cricklewy picks up the pieces. But to be fair, that's not the sort of pace we are seeing. As Josh Steed is gaining some ground now on the man in front. Nice chirp of the tyres there from James Waite as he comes out of the final turn. He will go into the last lap this time by. And this is going to be a really exciting end to proceedings for James Waite. If he could just hang on for one more lap around the Snetterton 300 circuit. Magnus Cricklewy in second place, chasing him down. The gap is definitely dropping. And Cricklewy is gaining on James Waite. But the big problem is that it's not fast enough unless James Waite makes a mistake. They go back down towards Wilson Hairpin. Magnus Cricklewy is having a good run through. And on board with James Waite in the hairpin as he gets back on the power. At the moment, he's had absolutely nothing to worry about this weekend. And in this fourth weekend of the championship, having that sort of composure and confidence is absolutely crucial. especially considering the fact that we are now pretty much at the halfway point of the 2018 season with this one. They'll have Castlecombe on the second weekend of August to deal with. Then they'll have Thruxton on the first weekend of September. 3 weeks after that, they'll have the Silverstone International Circuit, and then the season will end again at Brands Hatch on Formula Ford Festival weekend on the 20th and 21st of October. So this is this end of the race is going to be the halfway point in the Fiesta Junior Championship. 8 races down and 8 to go. So as they come back on the power, this is a really strong performance and a great effort from James Waite, who has continued to pound in the laps. He's not been as fast as he was on lap 2, same as race 1 really, but he hasn't needed to be, and that's where the main factor is. Magnus Cricklewy's in the 219s, chipping away little by little, but as far as the man out front, James Waite, is concerned, it doesn't matter a dime as they go down to the braking zone for Brundle, under the bridge, turn in, still those 3 battle away for 3rd position, but I don't really see that changing with Isaac Smith in such consistent rhythm as he is now. Josh Steed and Ollie Turner can give him all the pressure they want, but I really don't see that changing soon, as James Waite is going to come through the final few corners and he will take a lead in the championship that he can be comfortable with. Out of the final turn, into Coram and through to Murray's he will go. Again, just watch his stance in the final turn. Absolutely everything is at ease as he goes back onto the home straight. And James Waite is going to take a big step forward. 14 points clear in the championship from Magnus Cricklewy on dropped scores. Checkered flag. James Waite's done it again. 5 wins out of 8 this season. A brilliant performance. Magnus Cricklewy second, only 14 points back in the championship, but it's going to be Isaac Smith in front of Josh Steed and Ollie Turner, or is it? Josh Steed is going to try and get there to the line. We've seen races decided this close before, but no, it is Isaac Smith who gets there to 3rd first from Josh Steed and Ollie Turner. The final 2 finishers are going to be Todd Garner and Abbey Locke, but that really gives us an amazing championship fight with Nathaniel Hotchkiss sadly retiring again. Big points lost, but Waite is your leader in the championship. Before dropped scores, the championship standings look like this. Waite from Cricklewy, Turner, Steed and Garner, but Isaac Smith is actually 3rd on dropped scores in front of Turner, Steed and Garner, with Waite leading the way in both cases. We're heading to Castlecombe in a few weeks' time for the 5th round of the championship. See you in Wiltshire.